All right, hold on. I gotta make some corrections here because YouTube. Okay, I'm live right now. Hope y'all are doing well. YouTube messed up, or maybe I messed up, and it says No Way Home when it's supposed to be Spider-Verse. I don't know what the hell happened to my Spider-Verse stream. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. I don't understand why it says that. That is weird and disheartening. So give me one moment, y'all. I need to. I guess what happened was the stream messed up. Yeah. Okay. So here's what happened. The original stream ended, and then the new stream defaulted back to the old settings. Yeah. I rarely stream on this channel. So that's kind of what happened. It's a quick technical thing I can fix. Just give me 1 second. Hope y'all are having a good day today. Spread the stream out because I worry that right there may have messed up some things. So let me go ahead and see if I can fix this here. Just give me a moment to actually fix it. I'm over here doing it on my end. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. It just decided to default back to the old settings, which is wrong. Like, it went back to my last stream, which was for No Way Home. Hang on a sec. I'm almost done here. Okay. It should be updated now. Does this say Across the Spider-Verse? Do you see that on your screen? Let me know if you, according to my screen, I see it, but I don't know if y'all see it. Dragon Slayer, yeah, this thing was, it says changes made, or changes have been made. Did it get fixed? Can you tell if it got fixed, yo? Cause I can't tell right now. Like, the original stream got, okay, it's fine, okay. Yeah, the original stream got messed up. I don't know what the hell happened. Like, it just defaulted back to the first stream. So let me real quick, I have to real quick make a quick change here. Hold on. Because the people on the, see, I can't even change the Geekdom channel because they'll log me off of this one. So what can you do? Anyways, I'm here to talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So before we go into the movie, thank you very much, Tram, for the very generous super chat. That means a lot to me, trust me. Before we go into Across the Spider-Verse, I want to say that this video or this stream is going to have spoilers for the movie. We're going to have a full spoiler talk. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, thank you so much, Trami. I hope I said your name right. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to go out and check it out. You might want to go see this movie. Everyone has seen it that I know of. I think today, a few of my friends saw it finally. Some didn't get to see it at first, but a few of my friends saw it today. So we're going to be discussing the movie and discussing Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I want to ask the chat, first of all, what did you... I'm doing good, Trammy. I'm doing real good. What did y'all think about the movie? I mean, the response appears to be overwhelmingly positive. And that's good. I'm not complaining about that. That is a good thing. Let me real quick make a quick little change here. Hold on 1 second. Here's the correct link to the stream. I don't know if people from Geekdom 101 even saw this because they're probably going to the other link. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're good. Yeah, but you gotta go see the movie because this movie works better when you don't know anything. I did not look at spoilers for this because I didn't want to mess up my experience. Now, in other movies, spoilers don't bug me that much. All right, I got this promotion out here. So in other movies, spoilers don't bug me that much. With this one though, I wanted to go into it really, really at with knowing as little as possible. And I gotta tell you, man, I loved it. I mean, it really took some time to sink in because when I left the movie theater, I knew that I liked it, but I wasn't sure where to rank it. I wasn't sure if I liked it more than No Way Home, but it really took time with me sitting down and thinking and saying, okay, how did I feel about this movie? And saying, okay, what what flaws were there? What was good, what was bad? And there's very little flaws. I think whatever small flaws there were, and it's very subjective, were pretty much scrubbed over for the competent script. I was surprised, even though I probably shouldn't be, as to how good this script was. I was genuinely surprised. Not because I don't trust Lord Miller, but because following up Into the Spider-Verse, dude, is a big task. Because that movie's universally loved by those who saw it. I don't know anyone who disliked that movie. However, with Across the Spider-Verse, it was challenging for them to actually come up with something better, and they did it. I mean, this is what a sequel should be. This is like The Empire Strikes Back. They took what was established in the first film, and they expounded upon it. They made it better. Where the hell's my phone at? I'm gonna have to. Oh, here it is. They expounded upon it. They made it better, and the most important thing is they focused on the characters, which is the same thing really that No Way Home did. My issue with No Way Home compared to this is that this had a better script and this handled the multiverse better, but No Way Home was more emotionally resonant because we saw Toby and Andrew, the two Spider-Men that existed prior to, and we got to see the old villains come back. I'm going to have a hot take right now. Dragon Slayer, I do not. I think this exists in its own vacuum. That's a great question, though, for those who can't see it, because I'm supposed to have my chat turned on, but I guess the chat box is not working. Dragon Slayer says, do you think that the story of the movie will impact Loki Season 2? I don't think so, because that show's already been shot. It's already done. I don't think this is going to impact the MCU, even though the MCU is canon to this. But let me tell you what I was going to say, though, about No Way Home. Hot take. And I hate that word hot take because usually the take is not that hot, but I'm going to keep it real with y'all. No Way Home was a very good movie. Very, very good movie. However, here comes the hot take. That's a movie to where the theatrical experience makes it better. If you watch that movie by yourself, it's not as impactful as if you watch it with a crowd. So when you're watching the movie in the theater and you see Andrew pop up through the portal, you see Toby looking around, you see, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, you have these emotions, this nostalgia, all that stuff, right? But with this movie, it's just a better written movie. The writing was just better in this movie. And if you did not see No Way Home in theaters, you may have missed a great experience. However, with Across the Spider-Verse, I think years down the road, people are going to look back at this movie and appreciate it more than No Way Home. I think people will appreciate it more than No Way Home. Destro, I responded to you earlier, bro. I know I was all over that show. I was all over it. Yes, I was sitting next to a chick with a pink hat. Correct. She came with me. And when I say came with me, I mean came to the show. Don't get any dirty ideas, you sick-minded freak, you. Spider-Verse, I think, worked better because they focus. I like how the movie was structured. I like how it was Gwen's story, then Miles, then the Spider-Verse stuff. But one of the things I did not talk about in my spoiler review that I'm going to talk about here with y'all is Miguel. Not only did Oscar Isaac do a great job with Miguel, but again, Lord and Miller and the writing did a phenomenal job with Miguel. The character of Miguel is so well written, even though he didn't have a lot to work with. They did so much with yet so little. We find out that he wants to have his own family. So instead, he goes to a different universe, not his own, to be a family guy, right? And it's like, whoa, that's pretty fucking deep. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about, because I certainly have, if there was a way to go to an alternate timeline where things were different and you're living the life that you want to live as yourself? That's what he did. And was it selfish? Absolutely, it's a very selfish thing to do. But it was also something that makes sense. The trailers made it seem like Miguel was in half the movie. Maybe. I mean, I think he had good screen time. I think they used him very effectively. I like that they introduced him at the very beginning of the movie, right? And he was there as a looming character throughout, but he wasn't the focus. But if you're going to look at this movie, and if you're going to categorize the characters, it's Miles number 1 and Gwen 1A. And then you've got Miguel as number 3 and Spot as number 4. And then beneath them, you've got Spider-Punk. You've got other characters. You've got the Ben Reilly character, which didn't really do much. They kind of serve to be the replacements for Spider Noir and those characters. Well, B Weezy, I think the biggest idea behind that, I whenever you say like the trailers made it false advertising that he wasn't in for long, I always think of Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma's combined screen time throughout 2 movies is like 3 minutes. And I find that funny to me because she was all over the promotion for Force Awakens, all over the toys. Oh, it's a platinum stormtrooper, silver stormtrooper, and then look. It's all laughs, has a super chat and says, Spider-Verse was doing, in my opinion, what the MCU is attempting to do, but better. Also, the amount of attention to each individual character writing, especially Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Gwen, and Spot is just amazing. Yeah, it wasn't just Miles' story, but yet they gave us enough Miles. This movie was so well done. This is why, like, you gotta understand, a lot of people are saying this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time, but they're not really articulating why. And I think people feel it. I think people deep down inside feel that way. I'm not saying that they're wrong because they're not, or that they're lying, but they can articulate why. Here's why. This movie used its runtime really effectively. This movie gave enough time to each important character. Spot, Miles, Miguel, Gwen, even a little bit to the others. The India Spider-Man, which is Gaming Hub UK's favorite. Spot is from the comics Dragon Slayer. He was also in the 94 anime series. In fact, I remember the episode that he was in. But they did so much with this. The movie wasn't 3 hours. This movie was not 3 hours long. Japanese Spider-Man was in this movie actually, but it was hard to spot him. And yes, he will be in the next one. We're going to talk about the next one here in a minute. Were the movies ever only about Miles? No, but the first one's more about Miles than this one was. But this one gave us enough time because you had that story with Miles and his parent and his uncle. And Trammy, listen, because you gave me a super chat earlier, I'm not going to like get mad at you, but that question right there is so that question you just asked me is so goddamn fucking annoying, because I come on this channel to not talk about Dragon Ball, and you asked me to talk about Dragon Ball. Like, this is not Geekdom 101, dude. It's like I can't escape it, bro. I can't fucking escape it. It's like if I fucking do a video about cancer research, someone's gonna leave a comment saying, can you talk about Dragon Ball? Maybe you should look at me as more than a Dragon Ball person, yo. Maybe more as like, I mean, I don't know. This up here, for example, says Across the Spider-Verse. Is there anything Dragon Ball on my screen? Except for the toys back there? Like, I'm sorry, but that's really obnoxious. I appreciate the super chat, dude, but that's really... Okay, I'm not gonna let you trigger me, dude, because you gave me a nice donation. I'm not gonna let you ruin that shit. Matt's Adventure, if they use this writing with a live action version, Sony would have a stranglehold on Spider-Man, especially with the Tom Hardy Venom. They already have a stranglehold on Spider-Man, bro. They already have it. They already have a stranglehold on Spider-Man. How surprised were you that they made Spot a legit villain? Well, I found out later that wasn't even the plan, but Spot was a great villain. Spot was a great villain. Supaidaman was supposedly there. There was a lot of Easter eggs. You have to, when they go into the Spider-Verse, right, and you see all the different Spider-Men, you have to literally pause the movie. And you have to, like, pause it and, like, go frame by frame to catch everything. Weed says, have I played the Spider-Man games on PS5? Not on PS5. I played Spider-Man PS4, right? Played that one. Not Miles and not Spider-Man 2. Is Spider-Man 2 even out? That game's out, right? On PS5. I don't even know if it's out, yo. I don't have a PS5. Not yet. So, I've seen Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse once, but I might go see it again. But let me get back to what I was saying. The movie did such a great time. Did such a great job, excuse me, of... The movie did such a great job of giving time to everything. Comes out this fall. Okay, great. And so they did a great job of, like, giving you enough Miles. Because there was a great Miles story there with his parents, with should he tell them? His dad's a cop. Like, it's different. It's different. You know what I mean? And I like that Miles is... One of the things that makes Miles Morales so popular, and people have to understand this, this is not because Miles Morales is a person of color. I think a lot of people, especially black and Hispanics, and I am of that ethnicity, get excited because Miles is black and Puerto Rican, and even though that does mean something to people, it's more than that. The fact that he has the same principles and the same morals as Peter Parker, but yet he has a different upbringing and a different story, that's what makes him a good character. His dad's a cop. He lives in New York like Parker, but they're not the same. But they're similar. They're similar in the sense that they both have a righteous, good heart, and they both want to do the right thing. But one of the things, if you notice about all great superheroes, especially the two most popular, who are the two most popular superheroes? Batman and Spider-Man. You could argue Superman, you could argue the X-Men, but Batman and Spider-Man have historically been the two top superheroes of all time, right? Both of them have very similar backstories in that they both lost somebody very close to them. Batman lost his parents, Spider-Man lost Uncle Ben. And The reality is that you're grounded for a month. That's right. Yeah, and that was good stuff. The reality is that thank you, Jacqueline Plays. I appreciate it. The reality is that pain makes you a better person. Yeah, and Brian Michael Bendis had a great run. Brian Michael Bendis had a great run. What happened to Peter's parents? You have to go into the comics. There's a whole storyline about that. And obviously Amazing Spider-Man has its own sort of story. But what I was going to say was pain makes you better. I hate to say this because I talk to my friends all the time and try to be good to them and try to be cool with them and help them out with their problems. And obviously, you know, I do speakdoms here on this channel, right? But the reality is pain does make you better. Just Blazing 94. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but was Spider-Man 2099 going to eat someone's face? Gwen did say he was a ninja vampire. Saw a bunch of videos. No one said anything about that. I don't know about eating someone's face. I don't remember him being a vampire in the comics, but until we see more of that, I think that was just done to do like a joke. Because remember how they kept saying things like, "Oh, a vampire can't be good." That was supposed to be a Morbius reference. I don't know if you picked up on that. Remember how there was that line in there about Morbius? I didn't say that in my non-spoiler, or my spoiler review, but I'm remembering now, you know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me, you know, pain makes you stronger. It's just how it is. Dragon Reaper says, sacrifice makes you a hero. Right, and Peter Parker and Miles Morales both sacrifice a lot. B. Weezy said, no, he only paralyzed people with his fangs. Is that in the comics? Does Spider-Man 2099 actually do that in the comics? I've never even read 2099. I knew of him when I was younger. Cordero Smith, do you think people will call this movie woke because of the diversity of Spider-Man and Miles and Gwen's relationship? Well, people who are stupid will. People who want to capitalize on the anti-woke movement and who want to make money off of people and pretend like everything's woke. Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure. But people like that are fucking stupid. And I've gone over that a million times. People who only focus on woke, you're a very narrow-minded person. So will Miles lose his dad as the canon event, or will someone like Gwen die? I don't know, man, because we're talking about the next movie here in a minute. I don't want to go into that yet. I wanted to just discuss real quick that, like, the reason why this movie worked, like I said, is because it was so effective with its time. It did such a good job telling the story. And like I said, you have to go through that Spider-Verse scene where they show all the Spider-Men. You have to go through it frame by frame. You have to pause to see, like, everything. You know what I'm saying? That's, like, the best way. Because there's so much. Like, there's just so much there. There's so many Spider-Men. You know, I love the whole pointing thing. They did that gag. You know, this was No Way Home on steroids. This movie was No Way Home on steroids. CM Chendi, I got 1 hour, 20-minute drive to this girl's house. I needed something to listen to. Open up YouTube and I saw a live stream. Thanks. Well, thank you for stopping by. An hour and 20-minute drive to go to a chick's house. You know what, bro? I used to fly 3 hours to go visit my chick, so I ain't even gonna front. But she better have a nice home-cooked meal for you. Dragon Samurai says, what did you think of Spider-Punk? I loved it. Love Spider-Punk. And I loved how, yeah, the Green Goblin Atari reference popped me a lot too. I love that. Because I saw it and I was like, wait, that's not Hulk, that's Green Goblin. That was phenomenal. Also, Donald Glover. Donald Glover, bro. Childish Gambino. We got to talk about this. Childish Gambino. as the Prowler. When I saw Homecoming, I'm like, wait a minute, that's supposed to be the Prowler. Are they gonna do a movie about the Prowler down the road? I legit thought that Homecoming, or that Far From Home or No Way Home would introduce the Prowler, but we haven't gotten there yet. So I was just like, hey, I think the way they portrayed the Spider-Verse is exactly how they should have portrayed the Multiverse and Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people think that, but Across the Spider-Verse is a different type of movie. Also, I want to respond to what Nerd Geek Talk said. He said, Across the Spider-Verse is better than No Way Home. I agree. Across the Spider-Verse is a better movie than No Way Home. It's better written. It may not have been as emotional, but it's better written. It's got better characters. It uses the multiverse better. It's got three-dimensional characters like Gwen and Miles and Miguel. Those three characters are so freaking well written. Like, they're so well written. They really did a great job. What I wanted to talk about is, I don't think you guys, and I'm sure you guys are going to understand when I get done saying this. I wonder how many of you guys really understand what this movie accomplished. This movie may have taken a shit on Secret Wars. Let me explain what I mean. Hear me out. Hear me out with this one, please. Secret Wars is going to tie together all of the MCU, the variants, the multiverse, the X-Men universe, the Sonyverse, maybe even Blade. You understand that? One thing that Secret Wars is not going to do, as far as we know, Secret Wars is not going to include everything. Meaning, Secret Wars is not going to have the video games. It's not going to have the comics. It's not going to have the TV shows. Well, the Disney Plus shows, but not the animated shows or the animated movies. This movie took everything in the history of entertainment. I want y'all to hear what I have to say about this. This is very important. This is a big fucking deal. In the history of entertainment, we've never had a movie like this. This is the first time a movie like this has ever been made. They have literally taken every single piece of Spider-Man media. They had Lego Spider-Man. They had the PS4 Insomniac games, PS5. They had the comic books. We saw comic panels in this fucking movie. So the Earth 616 comic book universe is canon to this. We saw literal footage of Amazing and of Spider-Man. Secret Wars is going to make a fuck ton of money. Probably more than this movie. I keep pointing this way, but it's really this way. Probably more than this movie, right? It's probably going to make more money. Secret Wars is going to do maybe $2 billion. It's going to be a big fucking deal, right? I don't see how it's going to be able to accomplish what this movie did by doing everything. We're not going to have anything like this happen. Yes, correct, Skeleton Youth, anime Spider-Man, spectacular Spider-Man, and even the new Spider-Man cartoon made a cameo. We're not going to get that in the Secret Wars movie. Now, the Secret Wars movie is still going to be good. I'm not saying it's not going to be good. I can't say it for sure it's going to be good, but I hope it's good, right? But my God, they are not going to be able to accomplish what this movie accomplished. They're just not. I like the fact that canon was an actual plot point in the movie. I agree. They used the word canon very, very well. They used it very effectively to where it's actually like something that has to happen. I think, okay, other forms of fiction don't use the word canon, but it's the same thing. It's called I think it's called like a time relevant event or something like that. In other words, it's an event that has to happen. This is the same thing that they talked about in Flash. I'm not going to go into Flash spoilers because most of you have not seen it. I have. In the Flash movie, Michael Keaton's Batman explains how time travel works, and there are very similar ideas there, including the concept of canon, right? But it's not called canon. In other words, there are events that happen. There are events that happen in the timeline that cannot be changed, no matter how much you try to change them. That's what this movie represents. Because the idea of this movie, this is what y'all have to understand about this fucking thing. The idea behind this movie. Nexus event. That's a thank you, Saya. The idea behind this movie. How did you see Flash already? Well, I got an early screening, bro. I have a review on the channel. Go fucking watch it. It's there. Let me finish though. The idea behind this movie is that pain makes you a better person. Spider-Man cannot exist without Uncle Ben dying. As a hero, he still has the spider powers, but he does not understand and does not have the ability or the wherewithal to be a hero if it wasn't for his pain. Pain is what makes you better. Cody Rhodes' theme song says, hard times make better men. And that's what this is all about. Hard times make better men. Batman could not be Batman if his parents didn't die. Sometimes you have to go through some shit. And that's what this story tells you. And they're basically saying that Miles has to go through some shit. Now, let's talk a little bit about Beyond the Spider-Verse, okay? Let's talk about the next movie. Before I ask you guys for your predictions, because I do want to read some of them out loud, I wanted to discuss that with Beyond the Spider-Verse, I think ultimately, I don't know if Gwen's gonna die, and she might die because she is Gwen after all. I don't know if Gwen's dad is gonna die, and I don't know if Miles' dad's gonna die. Right? But the reason why I say that is because, and you're right, LJ Stevens. I'm going to get to LJ Stevens said it's weird because Miles already lost his uncle. I think what's going to end up happening is I think Miles is going to ultimately prove that even though the other Spider-Men had pain cause them to be heroes, I think Miles is going to tell them, no, I don't have to lose my dad. I don't have to lose Gwen, but I still have a sense of justice. Because remember, he saved India Spider-Man's, I guess, sacrifice. You understand? I think the canon events thing might end up being changed over to where he does not sacrifice it. Now, there's a chance he could die. Let's not forget, that is a possibility. But I don't know. The story could be that he changes everything and he proves to Miguel that sometimes you can just be a hero because it's the right thing to do. And I like that moral of the story. It's not quite the same moral that I'm talking about with Batman and Spider-Man, but I like that. Hulk Mode says, I think Peter B. Parker will sacrifice himself for Miles. I could see that, even though that's sad because he's got a kid. They said they are planning on making an IRL Gwen movie and Miles Morales movie. I actually have a wild prediction for you. I've got a wild prediction for you. Hold on to your horses for this one. Let's see if any of y'all, what y'all think about this. So we know that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and maybe even Tom Holland, but let's say the first two, are supposed to be in these movies. We saw them in archival footage. I think in Beyond the Spider-Verse, we are going to see, listen to what I'm telling you, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, right? We're going to see them help against the Spot. But a lot of people think that they're going to be pulled into the animated Spider-Verse universe. We know, listen to what I'm telling you, we know that Amy Pascal and Sony want to do a Miles Morales live action movie. We know this. We know this, right? Here's my wild prediction. What if Toby and Andrew pull Miles into the real world, and that sets up the Miles Morales live action movie with an actor who looks like the cartoon version now, continuing the story of this Miles Morales in the real world with flesh and blood? What if they pull him into their reality and he becomes a real person? And that goes into the Miles Morales live action movie. What if the final sequence of that movie is Spot ends up in the real world and we have like a live action sequence where it's Miles, Toby, and Andrew working together, the three of them, against the Spot in the real world? Can you imagine? Can you imagine how insane that would be? That would be nuts. And that's why it could be called Beyond the Spider-Verse. See what I'm saying? Beyond. We're going beyond animation now. There's people here who are saying that they don't like it. Some say they like it. Look, I'm not telling you that I would do this. I'm telling you that I think they're going to do it because of all the hints we've had. Well, I don't know who would be the best person to play live action Miles. But yes, that would break the internet. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to make cinematic history. We have never had a situation. Where an animated character has come into the real world and had it. We've never had a situation ever in the history of movies. Listen to what I'm telling you. We've never had a situation where an animated character can come into reality, get a human avatar, and continue his story as a human. No, Space Jam didn't do that because Bugs Bunny didn't become human. I'm talking about an animated character steps into the real world and becomes a human, and then gets his own movie after that as a sequel. We have the story of Miles Morales could be 3 animated films, and then even Ahsoka. No, because Roger Rabbit didn't become a human. Even Ahsoka Tano was animated first, and they gave her a live action, avatar. I'm talking about the same character. Portals in. The only reason as to why, no, I've never seen Enchanted, so maybe it has been done before. But again, Daniel Bell, I'm not talking about just they come into live action. Listen to what I'm telling you. You have to listen to me. Listen to me. A character that has 3 animated movies and then gets another live action movie, but it's the same. That's never been done before, bro. Enchanted, Roger Rabbit, that's one movie. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying a character goes from being animated and in universe transitions into real life and then moves on and does other movies live action. That's never been done before, dude. That's never been done before. That's a chance to make history. No, I don't think Lil Nas X should play. No, I don't think he's the right guy. It's all laughs. I think they swerve us and kill off his mom because he's trying so hard to save his dad and inadvertently cause the loss of his mom like in the comics. That, you know what? That is the best prediction that I've heard in a while. I think like that could actually happen. Like I could see that. Actually, that would actually be a good idea that if his mom dies. I mean, I don't want his mom to die, but it could motivate him to be Miles Morales. And that's a good point, Bindle. Now, did you think Uncle Aaron at the end was with Miles' mom, Rio? I think he was with her mom. Yeah, he was. I mean, it's not think, he was. Avengers already did that idea. When did Avengers ever do this? Like, it's again, you're not listening. People have this issue with listening. That listen to me, listen. Shh. Open these up. We've never in the history of cinema had a character that had 3 movies animated step into live action, and it's the same character through a portal, and then have a live action movie. That's never happened before. Don't sit here and tell me The Simpsons did it or Avengers. They didn't do it. They didn't. They haven't done it. They don't have 3 movies. There's 1 Simpsons movie. 1. And they don't go into live action. 1. Listen to me. Shh. Open these up. We've never had a character that has had 3 animated movies step into the real world and have a live action movie after a sequel after it. That's never happened before. It's never happened. Like, I don't want to sit here and say, it did happen. No, it hasn't. Not even Space Jam. How could it be in Space Jam if Bugs Bunny didn't get 3? Are there 3 Space Jam movies? Franklin says, do you think this film is better than The Dark Knight? That's a tough one. That is tough. Do I think this movie's better than The Dark Knight? I don't know. This guy again says Avengers literally did that. Okay, bro. All right, you know what? You must be, you know what? I think I figured it out. This guy, Blown, he's not from our reality. He's from Earth 727, right? We're over here in Earth like 1. He's in Earth 727. And in that universe, there were 3 animated Avengers movies that then went into live action. In that universe, right? That now I figured it out. See, I'm not thinking. You're right. I'm the idiot. That dude does not come from our universe. But in our universe, that's never happened. So hopefully in your universe, Spider-Verse is as good as it was for us. Let's hope so. Is Spider-Man a bigger franchise than Batman? I don't know. I don't think so. Because Batman has had more movies for longer, but I really don't know. Do you think this movie's better than Spider-Man 2? Yes. I do. Now, I like Spider-Man 2. This is not... See, I hate when people say, oh, does that mean you hate it? This is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. In my opinion. Just being real with you. Thoughts on Miguel's mindset during the movie? Do you think him wanting to stop Miles is justified? Yes. This idea of Miguel being a villain, he's not a villain. Miguel is not a bad person. Miguel is he's basically what Owen Wilson was to Loki. He's not a bad guy. He's trying to preserve the timeline. Trying to preserve the timeline is a good thing. Miles is the rebel. Miles is the one who thinks you can change things. Surge, I think you're wrong about that, man. No offense, I think Batman's way more famous than Spider-Man. I've been to other countries, but not by much. I don't think it's that much of a difference. This motherfucker said, whoa, is there spoilers in here? Did I not title the stream live stream spoiler talk? I mean, look, bro, here's the bottom line. If you go into a stream that says live stream spoiler talk and you complain about being spoiled, that's your fault. It's not my fault. It's not the people in the chat's fault. That is your fault. That's your fault. Hey, oh, I didn't read the title. That's your fault. You should have read the title. Marcus Kramer says, this is the best multiverse movie made so far. Not just comic book, but everything everywhere all at once is a candidate. I think this is the best multiverse movie made. I enjoyed this movie a hell of a lot more than everything everywhere all at once. Now, again, I want to reiterate, that does not mean I hated it. Please, the internet's the only place where you can say, I like apples more than oranges. Oh, so you hate oranges? Only on the internet, man. It's the only place. I like pancakes more than waffles. Oh, so you're a waffle hater. I like Across the Spider. Yes, Across the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. Now, let's talk about Beyond the Spider-Verse. Do you think, I want to ask the chat, because the chat's got to answer this for me. Do you think, Venomized Marcus, I hope you're right. Do you think that Miguel will die in the next movie? I think the mom's going to go. I actually think, I forgot the guy's name who said it earlier is going to go, but do you think Miguel will die? Do you think that at the end of the third movie they will disband the Spider Society? I don't know. I don't think so. For some reason, I don't think so, and I could be wrong on that. Den of Nerves is the same apples and oranges. Well, it's a very common one, Daniel, because him and I have talked about it. I could be wrong, but I feel like because Miguel is trying so hard to preserve the universe, he's losing sight of what Spider-Man should be. Skyflow, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. So right now in the chat, people are saying yes to Miles dying. Some are saying no. His mom's kind of bad, though. You mean bad like attractive? Let me tell you something right now, bro. If you think that a Puerto Rican woman is attractive animated, try seeing one in real life. Those of you Hispanics in the chat right now, you'll know what I'm talking about. Gaming Hub UK, aka Spider-Man India, says, I feel his mom and Prowler Miles. Yeah, do you think Prowler, that's a good question for the chat. Do you think Prowler Miles is gonna die? Or do you think Prowler Miles will become Spider-Man in that universe? That's a good question, though. Yeah, bro, Puerto Rican women are very attractive. But I'm telling you right now, a Puerto Rican that can't speak Spanish, I'm telling you right now, though, about Puerto Rican women. Listen to what I'm telling you. Puerto Rican women, and this is for the guys in the chat. This is not for the women in the chat, unless you're a lesbian. Puerto Rican women, I'm going to say this very quietly. Puerto Rican women will give you the best sex of your life, but if they even for 1 minute think that you're cheating on them, prepare to have your dick glued to your stomach while you sleep. Remember that. Remember what I told you. If you want a nice, attractive Puerto Rican girl, don't even think about being alone with another woman, even as friends, because she'll cut it off, bro. They're very temperamental about those things. Nothing wrong with that. Just be very careful. So let's get back to the movie. So I think Miles and Prowler Miles will team up against Miguel and die. I don't know. I don't think I somehow I could see Miles teaming. Okay. Let's hold on. First of all, let's talk about Beyond the Spider-Verse. Do you think that Gwen? Okay, I think the beginning of the next movie will be Gwen assembling that spider team to go rescue Miles. I think that'll be her story. So part of me thinks that you're right. I think that Miguel's gonna go up against Prowler Miles. And what's gonna happen is our Miles is going to try to get Prowler Miles to see the error of his ways, while Miguel's just going to try and beat his ass. However, that of course begs the question. Weed 2390, not exactly, but maybe, possibly. Dragon Reaper says, I think that the universe therein would crumble and fall apart as time goes on in part 3. Yeah. That could happen. All the spiders are safest to parents. We have to worry about that. That is true. It's the regular people that end up dying in these stories. Like Gwen, not Spider-Gwen, regular Gwen and the parents, you know. What if Madam Web shows up in the third movie to fix the Spider-Verse? That is a great prediction from Lone Wolf. Great prediction. So, we know that there's a Madam Web movie in production. We know this. Now, I'm not interested in a Madam Web movie. However, I don't think the Madam Web movie is going to be about Madam Web. I think it'll be about Spider-Man. I think the Madam Web movie is going to be a Spider-Man movie, probably with multiple Spider-Men and Madam Web being the Yoda of the group. Don't know if it'll turn out that way, but it could. And we'll see the Scarlet Spider and all that stuff. But we know that the Madam Web movie is coming. So they could introduce Madam Web in part 3. That's going to go into the Madam Web movie. Remember, y'all have to remember this. Everything is canon now. Everything's canon now because thanks to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, everything's canon. So they can do anything. Like there's no limitations to what they can do. This movie what made this movie so great is that this movie broke the canon. This movie completely broke the boundaries that is Spider-Man and the multiverse. They can do anything. For all we know, they could have the Sinister Six from the Insomniac game pop up and they fight them. You understand what I'm saying? For all we know, they could have the Spider Slayer from Spider-Man 94 pop up. I thought we were going to see that shit in this movie. They almost teased it, right? Remember that part with the big spider? Gaming Hub UK, I feel Miles will be his mentor due to the callback to Peter B. Parker's first appearance. That's true. That's true. Tehudi DG07, correct. And because of that, everything is canon now. Did it break bad? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they can do anything. So because they can do anything, I feel like because they can do anything, the Madam Web movie, which is supposed to be live action, could be introduced in part 3. Crimson says favorite Spider-Man to be featured in the movie, probably Ben Reilly, because he's funny. Andy Samberg played him. That was he made me, he made me laugh. Spenny Spectacular says, I would love to see Miles team up with Insomniac Miles. And for those who don't know, Insomniac Miles is not Miles Morales with no sleep. He's talking about Insomniac, the video games. You know what I'm saying? DG says everything is not canon. That means you didn't see the movie, bro. Hit and Run Hippo says, so I think Prowler Miles will come to Spider-Man Miles universe and help save Spider Miles' dad from dying somehow, and that would link the make two cakes thing. You know what? Run and Hippo, I think, nailed it. Dragon Slayer, I'd love to see Man Spider. Or Spider-Man Captain Universe. Captain Universe! That'd be awesome. But listen, or Spider Lizard, remember that? No, but listen, what I was going to tell you was... Oh, okay, never mind. That's what you meant. He actually meant Miles with no sleep. No, I think what's going to happen is... 2099 and Spider-Gwen will try to beat up on Prowler Spider-Man. Miles will try to recruit him. And then Prowler Miles and regular Miles. Emilio, I think you nailed it. Tom Holland's my pick. Prowler Miles and regular Miles are going to team up to save Miles' dad. Right? And then that could lead to Prowler Spider-Man, Prowler Miles sacrificing himself. You know what? I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's it. I think Prowler Miles will turn good, save the dad, and then sacrifice himself. And so that Miles is going to die. That's my guess. That's my prediction. Yo, bro, am I the only one that thinks every Spider-Man film recreates a tragic death scene, fails to progress or evolve with so much canon and lore to choose from? I think to caveat on what you said, I personally do think there are more stories they can tell with Spider-Man. There have been so many stories throughout the years and that have never been adapted. And I think I agree with you that you have to have the tragic death stuff, but I agree with you that they kind of, I'm tired of them putting Spider-Man back in high school over and over and over again. Like, I like adult Peter Parker. If you look back here, if you follow where my finger's at, you see this right here? Look at right above my finger on camera. This is all Spider-Man. I have a very large collection of Spider-Man. I have more Spider-Man comics than anything else in my collection. Right here. There is a plethora of stories they could pull from, but yet they only pull from a small amount. And I do think that they need to pull from more stories. My favorite Spider-Man story of all time is Kraven's Last Hunt. I have it back there. I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to do that one because it's really dark. Like Craven's Last Hunt, if you haven't read it yet, try to find it. It's really good. It involves like suicide and depression, very, very serious topics that I don't think Sony or Disney want to tackle. I just don't see them wanting to tackle those topics. And because of that, I just don't see them ever adapting Craven's Last Hunt. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. It's too dark. However, I would love if they did an animated, kind of like Spider-Verse, an animated Craven's Last Hunt. Now that would be something. But they had it be like an adult Spider-Man story. Because Craven's Last Hunt's a very adult story. It's very, for those of you who have never read it, yo, I highly advise you to check it out. Because you really sympathize. You really sympathize with them. Ultra Instinct Rockeride 93 says, Renew Your Vows could work with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Yeah, one of the things that I'm a little bit confused about, I agree with you, CT. I agree with you on that. I think they're moving past that now, but I agree with you on that. What I was saying is, one of the things I'm confused about is, after the success of No Way Home, how much money that movie made, why hasn't Sony began production on Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Raimi Spider-Man 4? Like, why hasn't that happened? I don't understand. It's already been 2 years. Is Toby not wanting to do it? We know Andrew wants to do it. We know Toby likes money either way. Why have they not done Toby? James Tyler, I said that earlier actually, and I agree with you. Why Spenny Spectacular? It would have leaked by now though, don't you think? I don't understand why they haven't. But here's the thing. People in the chat are saying keep it under wraps. Why? Why? Isn't that the opposite? Fairy Tale Fan McBride. I've never read that story before. That was after my time. So here's what I'm saying. Why would you keep it under wraps though? Can you imagine? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. If Sony went out tomorrow and said, we are going to release Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 in 2026. Don't you think that that would break the internet? Don't you think it would be the biggest story in a long time, bro? Or if they said, we're going to continue the Amazing Spider-Man verse with Amazing Spider-Man 3 in 2027? You realize that Sony could probably make Spider-Man movies for the next 10 years and people would go see them? After the success of No Way Home and the success of this movie, why have they not said, hey, we're going to continue this? People went nuts over what they did with Andrew. When Andrew saved Zendaya, bro, that was like a moment. That was a turning point for that character because I, for one, am not a huge fan of Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. There's things I like about them, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. But what they did when Andrew saved Zendaya, closing the book on that character arc was amazing. James Tyler, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about why haven't they already announced it? Like, you know what I mean? Lone Wolf said, my guess is a lot of the higher ups have their own projects they want to focus on. That could be true, but there's also this thing called money that Sony really cares about, and Spider-Man always makes them money. I agree with you, Fairy Tale Fan. Fairy Tale Fan McBride said, if we can get Mayday Parker appearance in Spider-Man 4, I'll be in. I'm just saying, if Sam Raimi wants to do it, if Toby and Kirsten Dunst want to do it, why don't they just do it? Just announce it tomorrow. Spider-Man 4 coming 2027. It will break the internet. Even if they don't have a script yet. Oh, the writer's strike. It doesn't matter. They don't have to have a script ready yet. They can just do it. And it would just be so big. Massive, in fact. People keep saying Disney won't let them. You do realize that Sony owns Spider-Man, not Disney, right? You know that Sony has to give permission to use Spider-Man. I hope you know that. It's not, it's the other way around. It's just weird because I know that Toby and Andrew are going to be in Beyond the Spider-Verse. We know that. And I know that Toby and Andrew are going to be in Secret Wars. We know that too. But why haven't they just said, hey, this is coming? Lone Wolf is right. But you know what? Sony ain't as bad as Toei. Surge said the same thing I said. That's the same thing I was thinking, bro. That's the same shit that I was thinking, my friend. Soon Ken Dinosaur Wang says Gwen and Miles probably won't end up together. You know what? I don't know, because here's the problem. Here's the problem. I think it's going to be hard for Gwen and Miles to end up together because they're from two different universes. So just imagine if you grow feelings for somebody who's in a different universe. Is Sony a Japanese company? Actually, they are. But they have an American branch too. It's both. But what I'm trying to tell you is, like, they're in different universes. So, yeah, exactly what Spenny said. Taking long distance relationships to the next level. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I think Miles likes that young black chick. I don't know about that, bro. But here's the sad part. Marvel bought Sony, right? No. Who lied to you? But what I'm saying is because they're from different universes, and Arius made a good point. He said, where's Gwen from his universe? Maybe that's how it ends. But because they're from different universes, this could actually mean they're telegraphing that she's going to die. It almost feels like Gwen is going to die, right? And then like Spider-Gwen dies, and then Miles hooks up with regular Gwen. Also, there's something else we have to talk about. And I want to ask you guys this. Did they explain in this movie how the Spider from Earth 42 wound up in his universe? Did they explain that at all? Because I don't remember them explaining that. Isn't that another cliffhanger that we don't know about? Like how that Spider wound up in his universe? Did it actually say it was the spot? I don't remember them saying that. No, I don't know if they're ever going to do Kraven's Last Hunt. Batman 2025 is right about that. The spot brought it over. Okay, so I don't remember them. Okay, the Collider. Yeah, I don't remember. It must not have clicked in my head then. You know what I mean? Thank you for telling me that. To the whole chat. Even Gwen has said all Gwens don't end up well. There's going to be a lot of emotions in that last movie, yo. I think Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be really emotional. At the same time, I think they're also going to set up something else. I just think if Madam Web appears in this movie, it'll be done specifically for marketing purposes to set up the Madam Web movie. It's all laughs. Yeah, I picked up on that now that the chat explained it to me. Because it just it went over my head. The Miss Chang moment was awesome in this movie. I thought we were going to say Tom Hardy, bro. I thought they were legit going to have Tom Hardy fucking pop up. Yeah, Kraven's going to be in Spider-Man 2. We know that. But I don't know if it'll be Kraven's Last Hunt. Venom 3 is apparently supposed to be a Venom vs. Spider-Man movie. I did a spoiler video on that. I don't want to go into it here. I don't know if the spoilers that came out were true or not, but I know that in Venom 3, it's not a Spider-Man versus Venom movie. It's supposed to be actually Venom protecting baby Peter Parker. But I don't know if that's true or not. That could also be bullshit. Matt's Adventure says, DC has to feel a ton of pressure from all these hits. They have actually done well with the animated movies, but need to tie in like Sony has. It's not going to happen, bro. Well, I mean, no, it might happen, but it's not going to happen yet. DC has been pretty much bent over backwards and fucked by Marvel and Sony since 2016, since Batman v Superman. And I've made multiple videos on the fact that they literally need to like get their shit together, because DC has a plethora of great characters that are just not being utilized. They're just not being utilized at all the right way. I mean, they've got Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and all these characters and the Flash. And the Flash has actually been used pretty well if you consider, you know, like the UPN or no, the CW shit. It used to be UPN, now it's CW. But like Man, they just waste so much stuff, bro. DC's very directionless right now. And clearly Marvel and Sony have a direction even if we don't agree with it. The comics in DC are better. Of course they are. We're not talking about the comics though. The games can probably do Kraven's Last Hunt. I mean, they could have it as like a side story. In fact, you know what I would like? If they actually did Kraven's Last Hunt as DLC. I don't even like DLC. I don't like the idea of paying more money for a game I already bought, but that's how they fuck you. But I like the idea of there being a Kraven's Last Hunt DLC so that people can actually live through that story. Because it's a great story. Personally, man, I don't know. Is DC now directionless comics? No, I wouldn't say. Well, in some ways. In some ways. You know? The movies certainly are. DC canceled a lot of stuff, bro. What's your top 5 characters comics? You mean, what's my top 5 comic book characters? Is that what you're asking? Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Splinter. I'm kidding, by the way. They are there, though. They are up there. Top 5 comic book characters. Favorite. Venom, Spider-Man, Magneto, Thanos, and Wolverine. Actually, Doctor Doom is in there somewhere too, but I move him up and down. I actually, you know what? I put Doctor Doom above Venom. Let's move Venom to number 6. Doctor Doom is there. Detective Comics. Gunn resets the movie starting with Blue Beetle. No, with Flash, but it didn't make any sense. Do you think they should include Norman Osborn with a fade? Why not, bro? Why not? Why not? Yes, I am looking forward to Insomniac Wolverine. Insomniac makes good games, bro. And that Wolverine game's going to be violent. Hopefully. Hopefully. There's a lot of good games coming down the pipeline that I'm hoping for. That I'm looking forward to. I love Doctor Doom, bro. He's definitely my top. It just goes up and down, but he's definitely there. I am going to go see that Turtles movie. Why do people like Venom on? I don't know about Venom on. I'm talking about Venom. What is Venom on? From Digimon, bro? I want them to make a Deadpool game. I know they did already. I'm talking about a Deadpool game like Wolverine. Insomniac. I don't know who Roman could play, bro. Yeah, we need a new Deadpool game. Right. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I would like? And this would be a weird one. Why don't we have a Cable game? Can you imagine a video game where you play as Cable? You play as Cable and you travel through time and shit. You gotta fuck around with time. That'd be dope, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go see Transformers probably. I think Venom will appear on Secret Wars. I think most Spider-Man characters from the Sonyverse will be in Secret Wars. Yeah, exactly. Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in the Deadpool game. That's what I want. I want a Static Shock game, man. Bro, Triple X. You know they've had like a Static Shock movie that has been like in development hell since like 2001. I remember hearing about the Static Shock movie in like Wizard magazine from like 2000. Oh, they're gonna make a Static Shock movie and it still hasn't come out. They still haven't made it yet. How long did it take for them to make the fucking how long did it take for them to make Black Adam, bro? Rock's been talking about Black Adam since like 2005 or something like that, dude. Then it finally came out, you know. We'll see. Anyways, y'all, I had some fun. I'm considering, so I'm gonna be closing the stream out here in a minute. I had fun talking to y'all about this movie, bro. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about. I may go on Twitch tonight, depending on what else I have to do. I'm thinking about going on Twitch tonight to play this Legend of Zelda game. There's a hack that I have of A Link to the Past that I've never played before. And Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda game, so I might go play that. SSJ Group, look up my Black Adam review on this channel, bro. Before you ask if something is good, check the movie reviews playlist. So I would love a Justice League game. I might go to Twitch and play some Zelda on there. I'll be the only one not playing Tears of the Kingdom, but that's okay because I want to experience this new experience. So, anyways, y'all, thanks again for being here. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And I'll be doing more streams on this channel, maybe. I'm going to be moving Speakdoms probably to stream mode. So look forward to that. Anyways, y'all, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I love you. Thanks for your support. I'll see you very soon on here, Twitch, or Geekdom 101. Have a good one, all right?